Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Cancer. So, Cancer, as usual, I'm doing this reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. So although I am keeping this as a Cancer reading, I know that this is a reading for the collective because not just because of the essence of the message itself, but because the sun entered the sign of Cancer with the solstice, the winter solstice here in the southern hemisphere, and the summer solstice in the north. So it is shining upon us all in the collective, in the whole world, this sign of Cancer. So I feel like this is applying to all, right? But it wants to be through the energy of Cancer, which is, the child, the innocent, the mother, right? The one who takes care of the family, the one who takes care of, because of the world that is here. It's like of this human family. So there is this beautiful message that is actually very, very simple. And summing up, it would be like this simple truth that the sun is at the center because we are beginning with the sun. And so yes, the sun is talking about, shining a light in the sign of Cancer right now for the whole collective, especially because the world is coming next, right? So it's the relationship between the sun and the earth and how the earth revolves around the sun and how now, after centuries of this, not discovery, but this expression of truth, I want to say, and also because we're ending with the Ace of Swords, right? So the truth is here to be revealed, to be expressed, to be communicated. But also the truth is talking about this path of unity, and we're going to get there. But still, it starts with it's like this perception that from the Earth's perspective, right, from our point of view here on Earth, we have this sun that is moving, right? So it feels like we are still, and the sun that is, going through its own cycles. But really, we know this already from science, from astronomy, from, studies in general that, took centuries, right, of this, like shining a light on what is the truth, right? The cosmos, the truth of the cosmos. Um, it's like we know now that there are a bunch of planets that are revolving around the sun because we are in a solar system, right? And so, it's just making me think of how truth was concealed or broken, right? How truth was distorted in a time where, the dark ages, right? Where the light was not shining. It's like, we perceived the earth as the center in a very selfish way, I want to say, right? So there is that here. So it's wanting to be like all of these ancient like mistakes or yeah, it's like it's more like this distortion, this manipulation of truth, right? The broken path that I often say with the devil, and we're going to get there in more detail. um so it's almost like this, it's like this correction of truth in regards to the sun, right? The position of the sun, the position of the earth. It's like the spheres, right? In this planet, in this galaxy, in this system, right? So it's like this opening up of the truth of our cosmic, galactic type of presence, or like the order of the spheres, right? So also, something that has been coming up with the World card. I can't remember right now if it was it the Gemini reading, or was it the solstice reading? Perhaps it could be the solstice. That it was talking about how the world is this web of complexity, right? So in that reading, it was the world, the Four of Swords, and then the Wheel of Fortune. So the world and the Wheel of Fortune, they were it's like they were sandwiching this web of complexity that in time it would become more simple. And it feels like this reading for you, Cancer, right? But also for the collective, because now the sun is in Cancer. So for everyone, we have this perception that something that might have been concealed or tucked away or distorted in any way in regards to the luminosity of the sun, like the light of the sun, right? It's like, because somehow, because this card is opening up and the Ace of Swords is ending this part of the reading, it feels like the truth is the light of the sun, the light of the sun is the truth, is one and the same, right? But one, it's like a more visual, it's almost like I'm seeing this as like truth that is absorbed by the skin, right? So when we are absorbing the sunlight, it's almost like we're absorbing also the truth of the cosmos, which is so gorgeous. And it's so, I'm just thinking about my own experience yesterday, and the reason why I didn't do a reading yesterday was just because I was in the beach, and it was like the most gorgeous winter day here in Brazil, which, we don't have snow, so we can enjoy the beach. um, and it was just like such a perfect, gorgeous day. Like, I just, I am not a person that would just lie down and stay in the sun for hours, just because sun here is like, can give you like a really, really bad sunburn. But yesterday it was just so warming and heartfelt, and so I felt like I was being fed by the sunlight. It was just the most gorgeous experience. It felt like, being fed with truth. It was very, very, very beautiful, and actually very emotional and very moving. It felt like communing with nature, and not just nature from the earth. That's the thing, right? It's like nature from the cosmos. You see what I mean? It's like this more etheric nature, and it gives me just goosebumps, because there are those simple moments of connection, right? And maybe now in the collective, we're more open to absorbing this sunlight. We are absorbing more of this cosmic knowledge, this cosmic truth, right? Even here from the earth, which is, just a little speck of, expression and manifestation in the entire universe. So it's almost like honoring that which is the center, but still honoring where we are, like our home, right? Also, Cancer is very connected to home. And what was the reading that was talking about going back home? I think it was was it the full moon, or was it the solstice that was talking about finally going back home? And that was very, very beautiful. I think it was the full moon. But either way, I feel like you, Cancer, or at least this reading for you, is showing how being here on earth, it's like it doesn't need to be this web of complexity. It can be a way to, it's what I'm hearing, like store sunlight, right? It's like bring the sunlight down to earth, but do something with it. Because, okay, so the Two of Wands coming next is talking about continuing to take those steps, right? In terms of, it's almost like being conduits for the sunlight, right? To be here, right? To enter this realm, to enter this earthly existence, this planet. Um, but what this Two of Wands is also saying is that, maybe since the dark ages, because, especially because, okay, let me show you. The devil is coming next, right? So it's, reminding me of that distortion, right? The broken path, the moment when, we couldn't perceive this truth of the sun being at the center. So it's almost like it was harder to penetrate the sunlight. Maybe the truth, right, of the cosmos could not penetrate the earth, because we were too ego driven, right? Or we were distorted, manipulated by devilish energies or intentions, right? But I want to say that, since those illumination moments, right? The moment where, that period of time, right? The Renaissance, and, the moment where it's like all of this illumination came forth through the arts, through the science, through thinking, through, speaking the truth. you know, it's almost like it's been a while, for us to get to where we are right now, where we are even more open, because the Two of Wands also talks about new horizons, right? Walking towards a new horizon for the earth to really enter this cosmic family, right? So the devil here, it's like we have been taking the steps to correct this broken path. It's almost like to stitch back something that has been seen as dualistic or separated or divided in some way, right? So that's been the manipulation, that's been the distortion. But the thing about the devil is that it's almost like it's very I'm just, the image that I'm being given with the horns, it's actually well, initially when I created the deck, these horns were always bringing me the Maleficent type of imagery, right? The movie with Angelina Jolie. So that was the image that I was always associating with. But that's the beauty of like image or language as like a symbolic way to convey truth, to convey information, right? I saw this video posted by Akiane. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but she's a painter. She's like, I don't know if you know her story, but when she was very, very young, a child in the US, she went through, a few hurdles, a few challenges with her family, but she had like, this moment maybe of like this revelation, this moment of communing with the cosmos. And she started to paint like in a very realistic way things that she saw or that she knew, right? Um, and so she painted this this figure, this man, this I can't remember the name of the painting right now. But either way, it's like if you look her up, her name is spelled Akiane. I think that's how it's written. But if you look her up, if you see her last video, it's called Grounded, the painting that she just did. It's of this bull or this she said that it was inspired by a visit to Scotland, right? Where are these creatures? And I'm seeing now because it's very significant in the way that she draws. It's like she draws the whole face and lets the horns last. Uh, so it's almost like it's the last portion that she paints, right? And they become so, it's just so gorgeous. So, anyways, to make that story short, the thing that I'm seeing with that, instead of the Maleficent, which could be, the evil, let's say, in a fairy tale or a story, it doesn't need to be this distorted, evil manipulation, right? It could be like this very grounding energy, right? Because of the name that she gave to her painting, right? Grounded. And that's the sensation that I'm having. It's almost like grounding something that has been distorted, taking the steps to open our consciousness in the collective so that we feel this energy grounding, right? So, and maybe this is how we truly bring the sunlight to the earth, right? And so here, the last row of three cards is giving me this very simple message, to be honest. And I could sum up saying that, it's the path from duality to unity, because although it might sound very simple, it's very, very powerful, right? Because the judgment, the lovers, and the ace of swords. So the lovers here is talking about this duality, right? Because it's the sign of Gemini, right? This card represents Gemini, which is, right before Cancer. So, maybe it's like the previous step that we needed to take, right? It's like we needed to face the devil, we needed to face duality, we needed to face this choice of whether or not we wanted to continue on this broken path, right? Being divided as a collective, or if we want to find truth, which is the unity, right? So it's going from duality to unity, and the judgment coming first, right? Because it's almost like the announcement of this choice. I want to say it's the ultimate choice for truth, right? And I want to say that the collective is doing this, even though maybe you, Cancer, are pointing it, right? And being myself a Cancer sun, right, in my own natal chart, I was born with the sun under Cancer. um, it's almost like I know that I am, in a sense, like this conduit for the sunlight to come through, right? For this truth to come through. And I honor that so deeply. Every single time, just, a quick side note, every single time that I sit down to pull cards, wherever I am, or whatever the situation is, whatever has been going through, on my day before or after, I just ground myself, right? So that I can be the clearest channel to convey the message as best as I can so that you can receive the information or, guidance for your own highest good. Um, so yeah, that being said, I want to say that if you consider yourself being or not a Cancer sun, as I am, you can also be, right, because you are, aware of this presence in the world, right? Or just like being this, it's like the one who wants to bring the family together, right? This human family together to overcome the hurdles of separation or distortion or manipulation, however that plays out in your life. It could be literally in your family. It could be, for the whole planet. It really doesn't matter the scale, I want to say. It's like it's bringing the truth, is speaking the truth, is being the channel for this truth to be spoken, right? Or to be seen, to be shown, right? So there is this announcement, right? This is what the judgment is saying. So at the same time, this is the card that represents to me this powerful tool, right? And I want to say, because also this card came through in the I can't remember what reading it was, but I think it was the full moon. It was talking about literally being given like this vision to know how to overcome this obstacle, right? This bump on the road, because it was associated with the Libra card, and the Libra was the bump, right? So, but this is knowing how to make that like this like, I don't know if that's the proper way to say it, but surpassable path. Is that how you say it? You know what I mean? It's like it's possible to overcome something. So knowing that you have that truth, that tool to reveal the truth, to speak the truth, that is how you overcome duality. That is how ultimately you go from being separated, right? And it's like being given the chance to choose, instead of this separation or this duality, but like meeting in the center where the truth is, right? Because it points only in one direction. That's the interesting thing also, because it's like the two hearts, they are pointing to the same center, the center that is the sun which is the truth, right? So the light that illuminates through the truth, right? So there is like this whole, it's like this revelation, I want to say, that is coming for the collective. And I want to say also, maybe this is not as relevant, or maybe this is not something that is going to be experienced by every single one, or at least not perceived by every single one. But I want to say it also connects with the solar flares, all of the light that is coming through, right? Maybe the intensity of, the northern lights, that a few weeks or a few months ago, it was very just, it was just so enticing and so unusual, right? So all of that is also connected, because all of that are also steps that we have been taking, right? And I want to say again, not just recently, but through the dark ages, right? Coming back to light, coming back to this illumination. So it's been something that it's like this natural progression, right? It's almost like again, it's like the speed of light is what this arrow is now pointing towards, right? So it really doesn't matter for how long we've been in this broken path, or in this manipulated mentality, right? Or in this dark age. It's like the announcement has been made. It's now coming through as like, it's like the oh, I'm not a student of the Bible. I don't know it very well, but what I'm hearing, it's almost like the song of angels. It's like, the horns, right? The horns. Is it that how you said, how you say it? It's like the horns of the angels, or the horns of judgment, like Judgment Day, something like that. If you know more about this religious side of things, please comment down below, because I would just love to know more, right, about this. It's like this historical, perhaps, way of perceiving, a very like a very sacred announcement, right, to overcome, the distortion. I know that this is very it's like it can be perceived as evil, but I'm not seeing it, right. Once again, it's just wanting to be reiterated as the broken path, the manipulation that has been distorted, right, the truth that has been distorted as manipulation, I should say. So the announcement is here for us to choose unity instead of duality, right? Especially because the bottom of the deck is the Two of Cups. So again, it's like, because to me, the Lovers is like this higher love, right? This higher dimension of what love is, like unconditional love, the truth of love, right? So maybe it's like it's also going to be, it's like the light that is going to illuminate couples, right, or relationships, not just couples as in like a romantic relationship, but heart to heart connections with whomever you are connecting with, or whomever we are connecting collectively. So again, it's like this choice, right, this choice to be one, right? It's interesting how we have like the two twos, right? And, the two hearts and the two hearts, the minor arcana and the major arcana. So kind of like this etheric reality, right? The cosmic language of truth, but also, or maybe this concept, right? And here it's like the expression, the human expression. How does it translate to our earthly lives, right? Or this human experience. So yeah, I want to say that we are not even transcending. It's what I heard, but I don't feel like it's transcending. It's like uniting, right? It's like just uniting in the center, right? Going back to the center, which is the sun, which is the light, which is the truth. So it's very simple, but it's very, very powerful, right? And it makes us see kind of like all of the distortion for what it is, just a distortion, just a broken path, right? But also grounding it. So I am going to pull more cards to see where this wants to go. And also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find a link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Bye.